In a landmark decision that reverberated across the United States, the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in June 2022. This ruling, a culmination of decades of legal and political battles, marked a stark reversal of nearly 50 years of precedent guaranteeing the constitutional right to abortion. The court's decision, met with shock and outrage by many, ignited a firestorm of debate and set the stage for a new era in the fight for reproductive rights in America. The immediate impact was profound. Long-held assumptions about the right to choose were shattered, leaving millions of women grappling with the reality of diminished access to safe and legal abortion. The legal landscape shifted dramatically, with individual states now empowered to determine the fate of abortion within their borders. The overturning of Roe v. Wade did not outlaw abortion nationwide, but it effectively created a two-tiered system where access to reproductive health care became increasingly dependent on geographical location and socio-economic factors. This decision marked not an end to the abortion debate, but rather the beginning of a new and uncertain chapter, one fraught with legal challenges, political maneuvering, and deeply personal consequences for women across the nation. The overturning of Roe v. Wade unleashed a flurry of legislative activity at the state level, as lawmakers rushed to either restrict or protect abortion access. This resulted in a patchwork of laws across the country, creating a confusing and often contradictory landscape for both healthcare providers and those seeking abortion care. Some states, emboldened by the Supreme Court's decision, swiftly enacted trigger laws that had been lying dormant, designed to ban or severely restrict abortion in the event that Roe v. Wade was overturned. These laws, often characterized by their strict timelines and limited exceptions, effectively outlawed abortion in large swaths of the country. In contrast, other states moved to solidify and even expand abortion rights, codifying protections into state law and allocating funding to bolster access to reproductive healthcare services. These states, often led by Democratic governors and legislatures, positioned themselves as safe havens for women residing in states with restrictive abortion laws, leading to a surge in patients traveling across state lines to seek care. This stark divergence in state-level approaches to abortion policy highlighted the deep ideological divisions within the country, transforming the issue into a key battleground in the ongoing struggle between conservative and liberal values. The issue of abortion took center stage in the 2024 US presidential election. The overturning of Roe v. Wade injected urgency into the campaigns, galvanizing voters on both sides. Democrats campaigned to restore Roe v. Wade protections, framing it as a matter of healthcare and gender equality. Republicans faced a divided electorate, balancing their base with moderate voters. The election became a referendum on Roe, with significant implications for abortion access in America. The overturning of Roe v. Wade unleashed a wave of public outcry and political activism not seen in decades. Across the country, from major cities to small towns, people took to the streets, their voices a chorus of anger, frustration, and defiance. Protests erupted, organized by women's rights groups, healthcare providers, and concerned citizens, demanding the restoration of abortion rights and condemning the Supreme Court's decision. These demonstrations, often massive in scale and emotionally charged, reflected the raw anger and fear felt by many who viewed the ruling as a direct attack on their bodies and their futures. The energy generated by these protests extended beyond the streets and into the political arena. Women's rights organizations, reinvigorated and fueled by a sense of urgency, mobilized their members, organized voter registration drives, and poured resources into supporting pro-choice candidates. The fight for abortion rights took on a renewed sense of purpose, with activists determined to translate public outrage into concrete political action. The overturning of Roe v. Wade, rather than silencing the movement for reproductive justice, had the opposite effect, igniting a fire that spread across the nation, demanding to be heard. Section 5. Constitutional clashes. The battle for state protections. The legal battle over abortion rights did not end with the overturning of Roe v. Wade. In fact, it merely shifted the battlefield to the states, where constitutional amendments emerged as a key weapon in the fight to either protect or restrict abortion access. In states where abortion rights enjoyed broad public support, lawmakers moved to enshrine these rights into their state constitutions, seeking to provide a more durable layer of protection against future legislative or judicial challenges. These amendments, often framed as protecting a woman's right to make her own healthcare decisions, aim to secure abortion access for generations to come. Conversely, in states where anti-abortion sentiment held sway, lawmakers pursued constitutional amendments that sought to define life as beginning at conception or to explicitly prohibit the use of state funds for abortion services. These amendments, often crafted with the goal of challenging Roe v. Wade even before it was overturned, reflected a long-term strategy by the anti-abortion movement to chip away at abortion rights and ultimately outlaw the procedure altogether. These state-level constitutional battles, often expensive and protracted, demonstrated the high stakes involved in the fight over abortion and the determination of both sides to secure their positions in this ongoing struggle. The Supreme Court's shadow looming over reproductive rights. The decision to overturn Roe v. Wade cast a long shadow over reproductive rights, influencing every legal challenge and debate. The conservative majority, solidified during the Trump administration, signaled further restrictions. This instilled fear in advocates, worried about other landmark rulings. The court's legitimacy came under scrutiny following the Dobbs decision. Critics argued that overturning Roe eroded public trust and raised questions about political influence. Section 7. Legal battles rage on, the uncertain future of abortion access. The overturning of Roe v. Wade did not resolve the issue of abortion in America. It merely ushered in a new era of legal battles and uncertainty. Across the country, courtrooms became battlegrounds for the fight over reproductive rights. As lawsuits and legal challenges proliferated, each one chipping away at the already fragile landscape of abortion access. Advocacy groups representing abortion providers, medical professionals, and women's rights organizations filed lawsuits challenging the constitutionality of restrictive abortion laws, arguing that they violated women's fundamental rights to privacy, bodily autonomy, and equal protection under the law. These legal challenges, often complex and time-consuming, sought to block or delay the implementation of restrictive abortion laws while simultaneously attempting to establish legal precedents that could protect abortion access in the long term. However, the legal landscape remained fluid and unpredictable, with the outcome of these cases uncertain and the potential for further restrictions always present. The future of abortion access in America hung in the balance, with the rights of millions of women resting on the decisions of judges and the interpretations of laws in a legal system still reeling from the seismic shift brought about by the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The enduring fight for reproductive freedom. The overturning of Roe v. Wade brought America to a crossroads, igniting a debate about reproductive rights. The fight for reproductive freedom had been reignited, fueled by urgency and determination. The overturning of Roe v. Wade amplified voices demanding reproductive justice. The fight for reproductive rights in America is far from over.